Genesis series on the channel. Today we are starting in Genesis chapter 4. Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruit of the soil as an offering to the Lord, and Abel also brought an offering. Fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But you do not do what is right. Sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." Now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and are driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be restless. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." But the Lord said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mahajel, and Mahajel was the father of Methusael, and Methusael was the father of Lamech. Lamech married 2 women, one named Ada and the other Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who lived in tents and raised livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all who play stringed instruments and pipes. Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain, who forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Nahameh. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, "Listen to me, wives of Lamech. Hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son and named him Seth, saying, "God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him." Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord. Okay, so there's a couple things going on here. One, we have the introduction to Cain and Abel and kind of their story. But one of the things that I like to point out with this is we see in the beginning that Cain is also making offerings to God. And the distinct difference that we see in the scripture is that Cain gave an offering of some of the fruits of the soil, whereas Abel brought an offering of fat portions from the firstborn of his flock. And that distinction, I believe, is what separated Cain and Abel, right? The offering was to thank God for everything they had, and Abel took the firstborn, the best portion of the firstborn to God, whereas Cain, the way it's written, kind of just brought some. The other piece of that is that when he was downtrodden or downcast, or angry, God actually went to Cain and said, "Hey, be careful. Sin is knocking at your door. You have to overcome it. Don't succumb to the anger that you're feeling." And I think that's very important for us to remember that that for us it may show up as a still small voice, it may show up as a prompting, you may call it your conscience, but God is speaking to us even when we're getting ready to do sin, right? When we're getting ready to break one of God's commands, He's still there with us, encouraging us not to do it. And it's important that we listen to that subtle voice, because we see after that because he gave heed to his thoughts, it drove him to sin. He lingered on that anger, and he knew what was right. The way it's written, it sounds as if this wasn't the first sacrifice that had been made, or the first offering that had been made to God from Cain or Abel. So that was one thing that stuck out to me. And then we kind of go through the lineage of Cain after he's cast out, and the building up of some cities and some technology that's starting to come forward. But if there's anything else that you saw in here that maybe I missed, or something that stuck out to you, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And I will see you tomorrow for chapter 5. Talk to you soon.